Good, happy Sunday evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday evening, so let's get started. First up, we're going to begin with a look at your COVID-19 updates this evening. And here's a look at those COVID-19 updates for all of you this evening. Number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19, 70,785. And 1,133 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 126 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. That is a look at your COVID-19 data for New Hampshire. Three additional deaths related to COVID-19 announced in New Hampshire. Hospitalizations continue to decline. 3 more New Hampshire residents have died from COVID-19, state health officials announced today. Fish and Game officers responded to Snowmobile crash. New Hampshire Fish and Game officers are warning snowmobilers to be cautious on the trails after they said they responded to 3 separate crashes in one day. The first crash happened at about 1:25 p.m. Saturday on Noel Avenue in Pelham. Fish and Game officers said Michelle Seaball, 60 of North Reading, Massachusetts, was found on the ground suffering from life-threatening injuries. Seaball was transported to Lowell General Hospital. Authorities said her injuries are not life-threatening. They believe operator error was a factor in the crash. The second snowmobile accident happened at about 1:30 p.m. Saturday in Middleton. Fish and Game officials said Ian, 33 of Rockland, Massachusetts, lost control around a corner and went off an embankment and hit a tree. Ian was taken by ambulance to Frisbee Memorial Hospital. Officers said the cause of the accident is still under investigation, but speed and inexperience appeared to be contributing factors. The third crash happened shortly before 6 o'clock p.m. Saturday in Claremont. Fish and Game officers said a minor from Keene suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries after the snowmobile went off the trail and struck a tree. They believe difficult terrain and rider fatigue were the leading factors in the crash. Very important to take it easy on those trails. CDC mitigate efforts, keys for schools to reopen safely. Officials say schools can be reopened safely without widespread vaccination. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Congress gives middle-class homeowners who haven't missed a mortgage payment in 6 months a generous mortgage relief program. Click below to calculate your new house payment today.
The new CDC guidance breaks schools into 4 color-coded categories. The new CDC guidance breaks schools into 4 color-coded categories based on new cases and positivity rates. Schools with low community spread fall in the blue and yellow zones. They could open with full in-person learning and with as much social distancing as possible. Schools in the orange with higher transmission rates are recommended for hybrid or reduced attendance with required distancing. Same goes for schools in the red zone, but only if there is regular testing. For red schools that do not do regular testing, the CDC recommends elementary schools have reduced attendance with mandatory distancing and that middle and high schools go virtual.
We're really trying to just not get into the emotion of it, but to provide the scientific basis for how it can be done safely.
The CDC calls this a layered mitigation approach, and vaccines play somewhat of a role.
One of those layers of mitigation that we believe will help, but we believe, and the science has demonstrated, that schools can be reopened safely prior to all teachers being vaccinated.
Many New Hampshire districts have already been following similar guidelines, including Bow, which has had a mix of in-person and hybrid classes.
We wrote a plan very early in the year which was very flexible and would go to different levels.
The district is hoping to have students fully in person on March 15th.
That'll depend on staffing. What we've seen this year is that has been the limiting factor in a lot of cases.
Now, the CDC says it's also important for people to realize there is a shared responsibility to keep COVID-19 levels low in each community so that schools can remain to open and operate safely. Reporting live tonight, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Autopsy results released in Manchester shooting. Arrest warrant issued. The death of a 67-year-old determined to be a homicide. New Hampshire Attorney General's office has released the autopsy results of a 67-year-old shot Saturday outside a Manchester homeless shelter, and an arrest warrant has been issued for a man considered to be armed and dangerous. Jean was shot around 8:40 a.m. Saturday outside 351 Chestnut Street. The Attorney General's office said in a news release that building, which previously served as the city's police station, is being used as an emergency winter homeless shelter. Officials announced on Sunday the cause of Jean's death was a gunshot wound to the head, and the manner of his death was a homicide. An arrest warrant has been issued for Timothy Johnson, 38. Officials have charged him with one count of second-degree murder for knowingly causing Jean's death. Johnson was last seen in front of 351 Chestnut Street around 8:40 a.m. on Saturday and is believed to be on foot. Officials say Johnson should be considered armed and dangerous and should not be approached. Officials said Johnson was last seen wearing a tan/light brown overcoat, a light-colored watch cap, and a green military-style backpack. He has a distinct tattoo on his left side of his lower neck. And here is an image of that suspect. And again, if you recognize this suspect, call Manchester Police. Anyone with information about Johnson's whereabouts are asked to contact the Manchester Police Department at 603-668-8711. Trump impeachment lawyer's home vandalized. Vandals targeted the home of one of former President Donald Trump's impeachment lawyers, spray painting the word TRAITOR in red on his driveway in a suburb, Philadelphia. Police said the vandalism occurred around 8 p.m. on Friday at attorney Michael Van DeVere's residence in West Windland Township, Pennsylvania, about 30 miles southwest of Philadelphia, according to police. Here is a photo from the scene. Take a look. This is a photo from the scene. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your evening. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and goodbye, everyone.